today we're simplifying 1 plus cosine t over 1 plus secant t to a single trig function with no fractions. So what we want to do first is seeing if we can substitute anything. We know that the top is good as it is, but secant equals to 1 plus cosine theta, which would be this 1 plus cosine, no, sorry, not 1 plus cosine theta, it's 1 over cosine theta. But since we have a t, we're going to switch this to a t. Now that we substituted, we can continue with the rest. So you will leave everything else as is. So 1 plus cosine t, and then we're dividing this, and then we'll do the 1 plus 1 over cosine t. Now that we're on this step, what you want to do is get a common denominator for the bottom, for the denominator. We see that 1 is by itself, but there is an invisible 1 right underneath it. So we want to get a common denominator. We would leave the top, the numerator, as it is, but on the bottom, we'll put the imaginary 1 right there, plus 1 cosine t. So the common denominator here would be cosine t. So on this side, we're going to multiply cosine t, not just to the denominator, but to the numerator. So from there, we would get 1 plus cosine t cosine t and then plus 1 cosine t. So that will leave us with cosine t plus 1 over cosine t. So now for this step, we are still dividing, but we want to do here, when you're dividing a fraction, you can multiply to get your answer. So that's what we're going to do in the next step. So we're going to leave again the numerator as it is, and then it's still a fraction, so we'll put an invisible 1 right here on the denominator, and then when we multiply, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So since we have cosine t plus 1 on the numerator, now that would be our denominator as a reciprocal. So that would be cosine t plus 1 over cosine t. So here we see that when we cross multiply, this can cancel out. 1 plus cosine t is the same as cosine t plus 1. So when we cross multiply, that would be a 1. So turn it into a 1, and then we're left with cosine t